Welcome to MLB Prop Pick, powered by the Bat on Covers. Happy Wednesday. Happy May 1st. We're here every Tuesday, Wednesday, Friday, 9:30 a.m. Good day to everybody there in the chat. Markets are aggressively moving today. Mixed bag yesterday, less than a unit lost. Was good to wake up and get the knack that was a big swing, because I think he got pulled at like 65 pitches. It was a good one, and he was kind of dealing. Why was that game delayed? Why is there a delay in Arizona?
There were bees, I guess. And,
okay.
They had to bring
it was
out
too late. I was too lazy to go dig into it. I'm like, delay, sure, whatever. I'm going to bed.
I'll take it.
Yeah, no, it certainly worked in our favor in that spot.
I mean, but the bat is the most sophisticated model on the market. Like, it accounts for the chance of a B delay. Like, it's in there.
It's the only model that accounts for B equity for sure. All right, we got 4 plays. Things are moving. We got to get to them quick. We're absolutely fired. We just released 2 plays, I believe, on Covers of Social. That was Tristan McKenzie under 4.5 Ks minus 145, projection of 3.57. That one's there. And then Chicken Fingers, Ross Stripling over 4.5 strikeouts plus 110. That was at FanDuel, projection 5.16. So getting some things out early and getting to some things because they're moving. If you want to find these numbers at Covers, head over to MLB Prop Projections. They're there. They're all powered by the Bat. You can find them. Just head over there, find the analysis, search by individual markets. It's an easy way to find and sniff your own ways for some great bets. Release procedure is as follows. We'll tell you the book we're betting on, followed hopefully by some secondary books. Depending on how quick the markets are, will be how fast I talk. Then we'll tell you the market, the player, the over, under, and then your job is to let us know if you see it at a different price, where you're getting it, because not everybody has the same outs. Let's go. Philly, LA, we're at Betway. If you don't have Betway, wait to find the projections at your book. This total is at a different price in other places, and it's all over the map right now. We're going to pitcher strikeouts. Phillies at Halos. Release number 1. Philly starting pitcher Zack Wheeler under 8.5 strikeouts minus 150. Wheeler under 8.5 Ks minus 150. Getting that at Betway right now. This is the last 8.5 basically on the board, unless we're missing something. In that case, let us know in the chat. The 7.5s look good. At what were they? Plus 130 when they flipped?
Yeah, plus 130 was the best one when they flipped. But now I think the best is maybe like plus 120 at Hard Rock, plus 118 at Caesars, I think. There's some plus 115s out there, which are still fine. I'd probably prefer the 7.5 plus 130. Even the plus 120 is, I might even take that before this 8.5. But, 8.5 minus 150 is fine. Obviously, the market agrees, which is strange because I kind of expected this one almost to go the other way. But I think they opened so high because he's facing the Angels, who are struggling. They just lost Mike Trout yesterday. It felt like the 8.5 was kind of an overreaction to that. And so the market's correcting itself, I guess. But I wasn't expecting it to move that quickly. Like, this is one where you'd expect the public to be like, oh, Wheeler against the Angels without Trout, hit the over.
Yeah.
But that's kind of not what we're seeing.
ESPN has the 8.5 at minus 165, which is probably a decent price too if you're looking at the 8. But you'd probably still want the 7.5 if you can get it at 120.
7.5 before that, yeah.
Yeah. Okay. I have the same thing. In my notes says giant number with the falling market. LA seems to be heavily priced in here, which is the spot. And then if you look at Wheeler, Wheeler, 46 strikeouts through 37 plus innings. He's also got to face Cincinnati twice, the White Sox, Pittsburgh, St. Louis, who we saw yesterday strike out 7 straight times, and Atlanta. So those are some heavy K percentage teams right out of the gates.
Yeah. Wheeler's fantastic. I don't have any issue with Wheeler. I think
you project him as a top 3 pitcher basically in the NL.
Yeah. He's fantastic. You look at his stuff plus this year, it is actually down a little bit though. And he has kind of had that good context. So I think when you account for everything, the line is too high.
Okay, fantastic. So it was a race to get that one in. Let's go. Release 2. Bet365. Royals, Blue Jays. Yep, Milo chiming in. Yeah, his velo is down. Milo seems like a DFS player, or at least a very successful fantasy guy. Aren't you, Milo? Let us know. Also, someone give me a rundown on the bees in Arizona. Makes no sense to me. Bees. Let's go. 365, Toronto KC. Pitcher strikeouts. Now, I knew this one would be a little safer just because of the last outing. And this one wasn't going to move. Yeah. Okay. Release number 2. Toronto starting pitcher Chris Basset. Over. 4.5 strikeouts, minus 120. That is an over. 4.5 strikeouts, minus 120. This is the second time. He did pop in that game versus LA, but again, it's a tough LA lineup. So the question is, what are you seeing in the projections? Is his stuff plus sitting better than expected? And I mean, he did have some heavy strikeouts in his early starts. Should bettors kind of expect that more than his last 2?
I would think so. Yeah. The stuff plus is higher than last year, about in line with like his 3-year average. So nothing concerning at all for Basset in that regard. Facing a KC team that plays in a park that really suppresses strikeouts. And so if you're kind of just basing it on their overall numbers, it's going to underrate how strikeout heavy this team is. They're not like super K heavy. They're more like average, but that's still fine. Bassett's a guy who can strike guys out on occasion. He's not like a huge strikeout guy, but 4.5 is a low number. He projects well, and he's a guy who always has a really long leash. So we're kind of hoping to get there more on volume, on him being in the game, at least 6 innings. The bat's projecting almost 6 strikeouts here. So we're getting a K.5 over at minus 120 is a reasonable price for that.
Yeah, that is the 1 strikeout per inning. Give me at least 5 innings blueprint, and we'll call it a winner. And anything over that is absolutely gravy. So we take Basset over 4.5 Ks. Great price, minus 120 with projection just to over 6. Release 3. MGM. Secondary book is DK, but not as good as a price at MGM with these hitter walk markets, which is what we're going to release here. Game in question, Atlanta at Seattle. Now, let's see. Atlanta at Seattle. Now we're going to put producer Brady right on the spot. Shopping for markets that he's I'm not sure if he's seen before. We've lost Eric. Oh, my goodness. He'll be back. Hitter walks. Oh, the bees got Derek. There he is. All right. Hitter walks. There he is. This is going to move quick, as it always does. There he is there. Is that an 8?
Yep.
3.8. All right. Let's go. Release number 3. Seattle's Cal Raleigh. Over 0.5 walks plus 280. Raleigh over 0.5 walks plus 280. Back on the walks, Derek. What do you like about this matchup versus Atlanta? Is it a combination of Raleigh's play discipline, walk percentage, or more so in the matchup?
Honestly, I looked into it, and there's not a whole lot in the matchup. I think it's really just one of those ones where the line's just not where it should be. The bat is projecting him to draw a walk 37% of the time, which at plus 280 is really good value. He's a guy who does draw walks, about a 10% walk rate guy. There's nothing in the matchup, especially against Chris Sale, that's like great. Sale isn't a high walk guy. It's just one of these ones where I think we're taking advantage of a line that looks off. DraftKings opened here. They're down to 250 now. It's very much like the Arias play the other day, where we're going to bet a few of these throughout the year, more likely to lose than win. But when they win, it makes up for the losses. And we hit Arias the other day. Be nice if we hit Raleigh here too, but the expected value is good.
Yeah, Adam says gone at DK. MGM still hasn't pulled. I'm shocked. You should be. And it hasn't moved. But it will certainly move down towards DK. And when DK opens, I would imagine it's somewhere around what, 240, 230, and then could probably take some more hits over the course of the day. But that's it. We got that number for our third of 4 releases today. Cal Raleigh for a walk, plus 280. And then back on another one. We've hit him at plus 140, and we're going back for more today. Release number 4, we're at bet 365. Pretty widely available here in the fourth and final release. DK Caesars also have this number. And this just seems like, this market just seems like you see the popularity of growing within the walk market, the pitcher walk market. But a lot of it is, and I'm not saying it's not a bad approach, but a lot of it is like people taking 2 high walk guys at like minus 160 and putting them together for some value. And there's nothing wrong with that. I get it. Like if there's still value there, there's still value. But I think the unders don't move as much like during the course of the day, just because I don't think there's a lot of volume going into the under markets at 1.5.
Yeah, no, I agree.
Dodgers, Arizona. Pitcher walks. My move at 365 looking for pitcher markets is always go to the SGP and then pitcher props because they're all in one place. Because I can't stand, I don't know. I don't know how to stand out books can put like pitcher outs, strikes, and like somewhere down the line, like just put them together, please.
It looks like we lost 5 points here. I think
That's
DK and MGM have 5 points better. We can make it easy on producer Brady and just take this if we want, though.
That's my fault. I'll take the hit. Dumb donkey talking too much. Boom! Producer Brady says, not so fast. Not so fast. I know what 5 points is worth, and I'm going to take 2 seconds to get an extra 5 points. But the number's still good there. If you're at 365 and you don't have this out.
It did just move, but the number, oh my God. I think everyone knows what we're betting. Everyone's hitting it.
Yeah, Yoshinobu Yamamoto under 1.5 walks. We'll take what we had at what? Plus 125 at bet 365.
Yeah, we'll count that for the record.
We tried. We did have the 130, but plus 125 for the under 1.5. If you were with us 2 weeks ago, I believe it was 2 weeks ago, maybe 2 starts, we had the under 1.5. We got that at plus 140, still show value. So the plus 130, plus 125 still there. This is just an elite pitcher who we mentioned it the last time. It's a hard person to price as a book just because of the lack of information.
Yeah. I mean, Yamamoto is a guy who obviously has a very limited MLB track record, but he's a guy in Japan, had good control. So far this year in the majors, he's had great control. He's probably overperforming, but he's gone under this number 4 out of 5 times, and we're getting it at plus 125. The Diamondbacks are an above average walk rate team, but this is just a spot where, the number looks good. This projects to win 55% of the time. The bat's projecting exactly 1.5, and we're getting it at pretty good plus money.
Yeah, that's really funny. Caleb says, that shit plummeted while you were yapping. It absolutely did, which is funny. Like, it's like, you're there. It's our 4th play. Maybe we can get a little conversation in. And no.
I got to give credit to Mr. Brady, though. He got over there quickly. The number was there. And
and then we saw it blip twice. Yeah, no, you guys are extremely fast at that, but that's what it is. Kevin K says, I got to read the B story on ESPN. I don't have much time until afternoon. We got this. We got hockey. There's a lot going live. But we got our 4 plays. We missed a couple points because I'm yapping, but let's go. The recap today, we already dropped 2 social. We'll probably drop more on social. Producer Mick is away, trying to condense it a bit, but follow the covers on X, on Twitter, and we'll certainly be releasing some things because Derek did like the board today. First play, we got it in. We got Wheeler under 8.5 strikeouts, minus 150. If you can get the 7.5 at about plus 120, that's the preferred EV play there. Then we jumped over to our second pick, Chris Basset, over 4.5 Ks, minus 120 versus KC. Projection just a shade over 6 there for the Toronto starter. Third, we got it in. Cal Raleigh for a walk. We're going back to the walk market. What do we hit a race? Plus 330? Like,
yeah.
That's a big number. So now we're kind of adjusting the entire market, I would assume, when we bring in this much money into the market. So plus 280, we're already seeing that go down. And then the 4th and final, we lost 5 points. We tried to shop around, but the market was somehow ahead of us. That was eerie. Yamamoto under 1.5 walks allowed plus 125 versus Arizona today in the nightcap. That's what we got going for plays today.
And we had the two socials before.
Oh, the two socials. We had the Tristan McKenzie under 4.5 Ks, minus 135 we had there. What was minus 145 because of the movement? We got that on ESPN.
Stripling over 4.5 plus 110, I think was what we got.
What was the McKenzie? The McKenzie play like he's dealing with injury. I know I keep getting fooled by trolls in high-end fantasy who their job is to just overreact to information to throw it out there. You know what I'm talking about? Like there's that Zach guy that sometimes comments on us. He's a big baller fantasy guy, right? So a lot of those guys do that to try to create a buzz in the market so people aren't excited about them. But
yeah, no, McKenzie is pitching through a UCL injury. His stuff is down a little bit. He's facing a low K Astros team, and the market just has been plummeting on him all morning.
Okay, and Stripling, back-to-back weeks on Stripling. Still, you think he's undervalued in that Oakland, and you obviously think that leash is just as long as it can be. And he did show us how long that leash was in his last start, just didn't get the final K.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's what we got there. Like I said, follow the Covers' Twitter. We'll get something out there. Hit that like button if you haven't already. Big thanks to producer Brady. Big thanks to Derek. Thanks to everybody there in the chat. I'll be back here in 10 minutes doing hockey with Carlo. And we'll be back here with Derek and covers his MLB player props powered by the Bat Friday, 9:30. See you then.